I'm gonna check my luck too.
Oh, I do.
You guys doing perception? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 macros now.
Getting a little
like
bit cluttered
20.
on your screen.
I have 20 and
2
I'm on my laptop.
perception
so I have to, like,
persuasion. That's
scroll.
weird. Yay.
Yeah, 24.
Oh, I have disadvantage
Oh, those kinds.
for stealth. I don't know why it... No, this is not on everyone, that's right. So I rolled at 23.
4, 6, 8,
Ooh, it
10,
says all
12,
skill
14,
check
15.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's all
How do you
fancy.
get that?
Yeah, he's all
close to
fancy and
20.
stuff.
I want fancy.
It's a template. Here,
I'm fine
here.
with mine.
I will show you...
Can we get started?
Yeah, in a sec. I will show you my skill check. This is my skill check macro. I don't know how. I'll just Steam chat it to you
Alright.
because it's so.
It probably won't work because of the backslash. It thinks you're asking for help or something.
I don't know. There is no backslash in my macro.
No problem.
That's my macro. That's my macro for my skill checks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally not used to programming.
No, it's enormous. It won't work for you because each one of those percentages is a nested macro. So those macros aren't actually like up, but they're made, and it will go to each one of those.
So it's a macro within a macro.
Basically, I'm selecting a macro with the top down, so now I can do a specific roll for every single check, and you can make sure it's right by hovering over the mod number, and it'll say rolling for perception.
I thought my macros were getting pretty good.
Did you
still don't have? Do you still even have like your initiative down right or your attack roll down right?
Who, me or golf?
You? My attack roll's always been right.
Let me check.
For like 5 sessions, it's like, oh, it's still not right.
It wasn't right.
Somehow my initiative doesn't work on anymore either. It's very weird. It's like one
I
of them
fixed my
works and the
initiative.
others don't.
So so the initiative I noticed particularly has to be in a roll, or at least it can't be in brackets.
Well,
Nice
there you
initiative.
That's why you're dead.
I really like how you've already... No, wait, no, you haven't. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, that's not your stats for Dolos, but no, I think that is your stats for Dolos.
Is it +7 to initiative?
Dex plus proficiency, right? Oh no, it's just Dex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then initiative was fine.
Doesn't go in here.
There we go. Oh, that's wrong. Keep the highest 10.
I'm gonna keep the highest, nothing else. If it's lower than a 10, F you. It's not gonna happen.
Advantage. Go, and let's switch them, because I always have advantage.
No, you just even out. I thought.
No, I have advantage on initiative.
But you have disadvantage on initiative.
No,
Yeah,
I have
you
a
have-
-1. Why would I have this? What do I have disadvantage for?
Armor.
No, that's
That's stealth.
that's stealth, not initiative.
Oh.
I thought you had disadvantage for another reason.
No, you just as bad decks.
Cha-ching.
I have crappy decks. See, that's a perfect reason why I have crappy decks, or example why.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum-pow.
Ready when you are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Anybody ready? Everybody ready?
I can't wait to hear this recap that we all know ended terribly.
Alright. Drake, golf.
Yes.
It's going to be slightly different than you expect right now, but in the end it'll all make sense, okay?
Okay, so we're gonna play, and we'll hear the recap as we play.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Okay. That was my second option for how we were gonna hear the recap. So.
It's going to be the second option.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, count down and
I already did. I did
okay.
like 5 minutes ago.
I didn't hear it.
I
So.
wasn't in.
Or
Listen.
I chose to ignore it either way.
You were definitely in, because it started halfway through your... Okay, so anyway, who's going to do the normal recap?
Dolos is going to do the normal recap up until the moment that you and he split.
Okay.
That was when we started from...
From Amida.
Yeah, from Amida down, yeah.
That
So,
was
from the beginning of the journey? Should we start there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
We got to here and something happened. We moved 10 feet and something happened.
Okay.
Something big happened.
No,
Yeah, we
that
got,
wasn't what happened.
No, that was until
Oh.
there.
Oh.
Yeah. You found a cave with, I don't even remember what was inside.
Drow and skeletons.
Oh yeah, brown
Those
skeletons.
nasty
and
dro.
we killed them, and then we decided to go back or continue.
We continued.
We continued. Then we got an encounter with the big ape, where we killed it, which was a pretty hard fight, and lost our cart and horse. But we skinned it really well, so we are planning on going back for that. And then we got back to Himera. That's where I split apart from the group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All personal mission.
Yay!
So, Dolos and I did the personal mission stuff, so I'll keep that on the side for now. We'll start off with Drake, Tyraneus, and Gumby. The three of you basically decided to go into a bar. By the time you noticed that Dolos was gone, this happens often. Even while normal traveling or during normal combat, you lose Dolos all the time. He's fairly good at getting away unnoticed when he wants to. The three of you decide to go into a bar. It's your most basic evening, really. While you're sitting there, all of you are looking around. Perception checks.
Okay. What to do?
The group is looking around, kind of seeing if they
11.
find something. Seeing if they find something interesting or the like.
Why don't you just have something on it that says the
Yeah,
total?
a total.
'Cause
is
it
way
can't.
easier.
It can't do
No.
it.
Then why don't you?
Yeah,
do what
change
we
it
do?
into a total.
I've tried, it doesn't work. I spent hours, and I didn't want to change the macros anymore, because I already deleted all my old macros. It's 11.
Fine.
Tyraneus.
Yo.
All of you are sitting here. Drake sees like a couple of people talking to each other, who have like more traveling clothes. Like you have a couple of interesting weaponry, and you see them too. But your eye drifts more to the entrance as you hear the door open. You can see a pretty rich person walk in, and the person stands in the entrance, all big, fluffed up, I'm important kind of guy. And
Do I see him walk in?
yeah, you no,
What after he does?
no, only Tyraneus sees him walk in.
Huh.
And he just stands there straight, really important guy, and then he locks eyes with you. Make a history check as the guy, after seeing you, looking to the side, he just spins around, walks out. History check, please.
Not bad.
You have seen this man before, only shortly after you have joined this party with Drake and two people who are actually not around anymore. This person came up to the group as you were traveling to the north of.
I don't know.
I think.
I don't know if he was actually.
Yes. I'm positive.
Okay.
One of the
I think we were traveling to one of the
Meriton.
cities from like Meriton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were from Meriton
From
going
Meriton.
to the little villages up north. And
Yeah.
Oh.
two people, the two of the group split off, and you two kept on walking. And this person
Yeah,
who was
yeah.
on horseback back then came towards you and asked for a certain person. Later, you
Mhm.
found out that it was looking for Rita, etc., etc.
Mhm.
This is the exact same person, Tyraneus.
Okay, I let Drake know. I point him out.
He's gone though.
As Tyraneus just moves next to you, you can see the cape of the guy turn as he walks out of the tavern, out of the bar.
Can I tell if he did that because he saw me or because he saw Ty? Because I don't know why he would turn around if he saw Ty.
You cannot be really. It is more up to what you think it would be. There's nothing in his movement or whatever that you would be able to glance something from. Perhaps Ty can with a what's it called? Check.
Insight?
Yeah, insight check.
Like, what's he doing in Himera though? He lives in Emporion.
That's a good question. Maybe we'll find
I mean,
out.
if he's seriously still looking for her, jeez. Now he has no idea.
No, you find this a fairly weird action, but you can't really see anything from him.
So Ty was the only guy who actually saw him do this.
Ty was the only guy who actually saw him enter, look, and then exit, and the Drake saw him just as he exited because Ty noted him of it.
Okay.
But I don't know whether or not he's actually seen me.
You don't know.
Like, how many seconds?
Is there a window that I can see outside?
There are a couple of windows, and the bar itself is more on the main road. So you could look outside if you wanted to.
Yeah, I wanna go as soon as I see him. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna go out to one of the windows and see what he's doing.
You stand up and look outside of the window. Make a perception check. It is early. It's early evening. People are going home more or less, or either joining into the bars for a nice
Natural
day of
one.
drinking.
Great.
The crowd, the street is relatively crowded.
You know what? I'm gonna use a luck. I'm gonna use a luck point for that because why not?
While the street is relatively crowded, you try to pair again. See if you can find something, anything that might help you.
16.
16.
You see the same rope as you saw exiting the door. You can see the same rope walk a little to the side of the bar and then move into an alleyway. Fairly close to the bar on the other side of the street.
Yeah, alleys are never dangerous.
And
or sketchy.
And this is against the flow of regular traffic, so like it's not really a taken road.
It is. It's like it's not necessarily a taken road, but it is a road. Well, you don't really know, but you don't see a lot of traffic going in or out of it. It's like one person going out of it as he enters.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn to Tyraneus, and I'm gonna say, you want to go after him? You up for going after him?
If you want backup, I'm there.
Okay, I kind of want to see what this is all about. So, Gumby, you up for coming?
Yeah.
You don't know what this is about.
I don't know what this is about.
No.
I say, right behind you.
Okay. So we're gonna go follow him.
Adventure is out there.
Off the door.
I'm going on an adventure. So you try to follow him, correct?
Yep.
Everybody make perception checks, and how are you going to follow him? Is it like stealthy, or are you just blatantly walking behind him?
We're not. So I'm gonna kind of blatantly walk to where the alleyway is. After the alleyway, I think. Oops, wrong button. After the alleyway. 17. After the alleyway, I think we'll stealth.
Okay.
You want me to take my armor off?
No, I want someone to cast Faster Than a Trace if possible.
Okay.
And who would that be?
The only person in our party that can do that.
Okay, I guess I'll have to do it as a spell. As opposed to a ritual, I mean.
I don't think can you do pass without trace as a ritual?
Oh no, I thought we did in the past, but maybe not. I maybe
No.
I'm mistaken. So.
I'm fairly certain you never did. You always used the spell slot.
Okay, it's been done.
Okay.
You want me to use bless before we go in?
Sure.
Just
No,
in case.
it's no, because that's
Do we
saving throws and
expect an
stuff.
attack?
No.
Saving roll. Yeah, saving throw and attack.
Okay, everyone roll stealth.
So, you move in, the moment you move into the alleyway, the
13. Okay.
7.
Terribly bad.
So 20. So it's 10 between the two of us, and then Ty, and then we add 10 overall. So 10 average. So we rolled a 20.
Yep.
you didn't add your plus 10.
No,
Maybe.
because that's not how it works. He didn't have the plus 10 either. He rolled a 10. We just take the average of what we rolled.
Okay.
Yeah, we rolled a 30 and
So,
then divide by 3 and add 10.
The moment you kind of move into the alleyway, Tyraneus, you cast the shadow. Gumby, did you cast or did you not cast the
I did not.
bless? Okay.
I did not.
As well as Tyraneus, you kind of look around at the city animals, and judging by their movements and their actions, you have a fairly good idea of where the person you are trying to follow is going, especially in this like more alleyways, where less or fewer people are walking.
Okay.
You move you move a slight way, few blocks, and then you have to immediately stop yourself as you get on a square. On that square, it's like a backyard square where multiple houses, the backyards, enter into, and you can see the person you are following knock on a door, one of the doors on the square. He knocks twice, waits. You can see a door slit open, 2 eyes peer out.
Can we get close enough to try to hear anything?
It would be fairly difficult to get close.
Okay.
Is he like
it's
looking
an
around
open
to see if
square.
anybody's following him?
Yeah. At times, before he knocked on the door, he kind of looked around, and that's the moment where all of you were immediately pushed against, or immediately stopped and moved a little bit to the side to stay more in the shadows.
Can I insight check him to see like his current mentality
Or demeanor?
Yeah.
You can, but it's rather difficult. You don't have any facial expression to go by. You do have a little bit of body language itself, but
14.
his cloak,
10.
it's
Great.
you don't really get anything from it. His the cloak he's wearing, etc., hides a lot of his body.
14.
14.
Yeah.
You know that's not going to
So
do anything.
it hides too much of his body, and you can't see his face. So this is, you don't see anything.
Okay.
A few moments after he knocked, you can see the door open up, just enough so he can get through. He gets through. Door closes.
Is
Okay.
the house,
Let's
like,
move up to
look
the
like
door.
A normal house.
Yeah, it seems like a normal house.
Okay.
Let's move up to the door, and then I want to see if I hear any talking or something like that.
Okay, you
Are we
move.
still stealthing up to the door?
Yes.
I kind of whisper like, "What are we doing?"
I'll tell you later.
I just go, and then I hide behind him.
You move up to the door, and now you're standing in front of the door. How do you want to try and listen?
Put my ear against the door, I guess? I don't know. Very gently? I don't know. Just very quietly listen.
Okay, so
Yeah, roll a 20, break the glass,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be able to hear everything.
So, you want me to roll perception, or...?
yeah, perception check to see if you can hear anything.
14,
Oh my
and we got a
gosh.
24 from Ty.
Barely getting into the double digits on my rolls.
Drake, Gumby, nothing. Literally nothing. Tyraneus, you hear muffled mumbling, as if someone is speaking through a fully tight door out of a house which is made out of brick. Yeah, you don't really hear any specifics.
Okay.
You just hear
Well then,
a
why
couple of
don't we
voices.
quickly go over to the the alleyway, and then Catman can make another appearance and go try to see what's going on.
Wouldn't a mouse be more appropriate?
Yeah, but it might take longer for that to actually
Mice,
get
cats.
there. I think that being a mouse, you'd be more likely to be attacked than a cat.
Yeah, but I can't get inside. Oh, I could also be a bird and fly up to like a window or something, but
Are you that level?
Yeah, he can fly.
He can fly now.
I would do that.
He's level 6.
oh no,
He
wait a
can
minute.
fly. He can
Can I
fly.
fly?
I think level 6.
Fly.
Isn't it level 5 or 6?
Yeah, I thought it was level 6 that you got
I need
flying.
to check that. I know I can swim now, but maybe I can't fly.
Oh, maybe flying is
Oh,
later
no,
then.
Flying is later. Yeah, you can swim.
Yeah.
You can swim now.
You can change it to swimming creatures.
So I'll swim over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait,
you turn into a fish. Right.
Well,
Yeah, you change into a fish, flap on the ground, and then just lay flat. You died.
You do whatever you want. Remember, you still have Pass Without a Trace going.
It's a
Fish.
situation.
Yeah, but how do I get in past the door as a cat?
Okay, fine. Go as a rat.
Yeah, rat. I'll go as a rat. That's better than a mouse. But okay, I don't know
Or
what.
snake.
I think last time you used like a rat. We used or a mouse. We used the rat stats or something like that. Let's see if there's. I don't think there's a mouse. I do think there's a rat.
There should be a rat. Yeah.
Yep, there's a rat.
There's like.
There's a
one
rat.
rat.
It has 1d4
Ah, there,
minus
yeah.
1
1
HP.
HP. A minimum of 1.
So roll 1d4 minus 1.
That you change into a rat.
So if I remember right, you keep your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Do you switch your strength, dexterity, and constitution?
Actually, you take what's highest.
oh,
Oh,
There we
yes! You'll be able to survive a punch.
You're
Unless the guy's-
really-
or a step on your tail.
You're a
Really
well-sized.
healthy.
You're a well-sized rat with pretty shiny fur.
You're from the
healthy.
upper class.
Yeah, you're an upper class rat.
Upper class rat.
Sewers are too bad for you.
They might
You,
say,
As it
like,
should
what
be.
you're in the
Yeah,
wrong neighborhood.
You hang around in the higher neighborhoods, eating the garbage of the more wealthy. So caviar is not really weird for you. It's on your
Caviar. Oh my
daily
God.
menu.
Excellent.
Go ahead. What do you want to do?
Excellent.
Well, I guess I'll slip under the door and sneak inside.
Okay, you cannot slip
Yeah,
under
they
the
make
door
sure
since
to
there's
know.
no slit on the door.
Well, there should be a space under the door, and rats can squeeze through like.
I
Anything.
know they
An
can,
inch or
but in
something like
this
that.
case there is no like. It's very very well
Sealed.
closed off, sealed.
Then I crawl up to the ceiling, climb up the ceiling, and see if there's a hole that I can climb down.
Okay, you climb up the ceiling, roll a perception check, and first a climbing check, and then a perception check.
What would I do? A climbing check? Would that be?
Athletics,
Athletics.
Or acrobatics.
Either
yeah.
one.
But I do it
Whichever one you're
as the
better
rat or as me.
You do it as the rat, but you use the stats that are highest. So if your personal stats in either strength or dex are higher, then you use those.
Okay, mine are higher than so. I get a +5 for athletic.
Nice.
Okay, I hate to actually be the bearer of bad news, but that is incorrect.
Oh, it is.
You only retain your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Otherwise, you take all your stats from the creature.
That
Then
makes
you
sense.
have then you
Minus
use
4.
Dex.
You'd use Dex. Yeah,
You use Dex
use,
at a 0.
yeah. So it's just roll a d20.
I'll take that.
That's, wait, what is this? Is this perception? Is this perception or is this climbing?
No, this is the climbing.
Okay, yeah.
You're not really used to climbing in this form, and while you don't fall, because rats are pretty decent climbers, it doesn't go that fast. So it takes you like 5 minutes of climbing before you finally reach the rooftop. In the meantime, the party who is currently there can see like a small rat climb on the side of the house, struggling most of the time.
Sorry, who sees that?
We do.
The party.
Oh, the
That's
party. Okay, yeah. That
Yeah.
makes
Since they
Not-
We're still
knew,
watching
they
from the
knew where
alley,
you were
like,
Not
walking,
embarrassing.
how you followed
Yeah,
up.
we're in the alley shadows. We're watching you.
So at some points they see like your upper body grasping something and then your lower feet like scrolling trying to get up. You're on the roof. Perception check. This has nothing
Your
to do with
stats.
smell.
So this is my stat. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The smell increase?
No, it's not a smell.
Yeah, it's not a smell. Okay. So 17 isn't bad.
You you relatively easily find like a couple of smaller holes where your little rat body can squeeze into. You enter the house. You are at an attic basically. There's a lot of stuff, like useless stuff that people keep on an attic.
Okay. Well, I make my way carefully through and try to get outside the attic. I mean, in the house, and make my way to where I can hear the people.
Okay, so you find a couple of ways through walls and through like fittings between the stone wall and whatever they use indoors. You climb down. Until you're at like ground level, and at that moment you can, from a very small hole, peer out and listen.
Can I identify who he's talking to?
You can identify 4 different voices. You come in at around the middle of a conversation. It is more of a fairly nice get-together from all you can hear. There are people who are, you hear like happy voices, jokes, songs. Perception check. This is not of smell yet again. Listening.
Nice.
You recognize the voice of the younger gentleman that you were actually looking for. At first he is merrily happy singing along, and then at a certain moment they come fairly close to the hole where you're hiding. You can see him, and he's standing right in front of someone. They are whispering to each other, which is fairly difficult to hear over the sound. Wall of sound that's around them by all the other people in there. You manage to catch a couple of words. The few words that you can get together ends up in more like one subject, and they're talking about one or multiple slaves. It's unclear which. They don't use he, she, it, or they, or whatever. They just use one word, slave. It's they use the word extremely demeaning as well.
Okay.
And after a while the two separate again and go about their way drinking, etc.
Can I identify the person he was talking to about the slaves?
Make another perception check with advantage.
Nice.
You not only can you identify him, you have identified his smell. If you stay as a rat, or any other animal who can smell pretty well, you're fairly likely to sniff out his scent. Probably even track him down.
Nice, but I'd be able to identify him visually?
A little bit less. The man was hooded, kept his face hidden fairly well.
So, all he heard was
not
slaves?
the first time he did this.
All he heard was like the word slave. He didn't hear any kind of context.
Not very specific. What he heard, the most things he heard was they were conversing to each other about slave/slavery,
Okay.
and it wasn't like this is really something I have to get up. It was more of a general conversation between the two.
Was it like a jovial conversation or a serious conversation?
It was a serious conversation, but it wasn't denouncing slavery.
No. Okay.
That would be kind of funny. So, by the way, while Ty has gone in, I would have been telling Gumby the situation. So Gumby should be aware now, since he's like met Rita and everything.
Well, how much do you tell me?
I tell you, the guy we're following was the previous owner of Rita, who you met.
Yes.
And, well, he's tried to get her back already, and I'm just making sure that that's no longer the case.
Do I know how you got her?
No, I don't mention that. Do you ask?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that would take all of 30 seconds to say this, this, and then I'm like, how did you get her in the first place?
Well, he owed me a bit of a debt after a game of cards, and I took her instead of money. So less than 30 seconds.
Gumby, at this moment, it's pretty clear to you that Rita is a slave. You're very against slavery.
Yeah.
No, because at this moment, Drake never actually mentioned that he doesn't consider her not a slave.
So you don't know. You don't know for certain.
But you are against slavery, and this sounds like he just, instead of money, got a person.
Right.
And in your mind, that's still a slave.
How many days was I with them in Amida? Because that's what
you were with me for a week. Yeah, you saw us both for a week. You can tell, and you saw how basically affectionate I am with her. It's kind of hard to see us and think master-slave relationship.
Wow, these people could have said that for Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. History.
Yeah, but he released her and then she married him. So, right? Isn't that who?
No, I think their relationship was kept mostly under wraps, and they had several kids together.
This is before? I don't know.
Anyhow, Gumby wouldn't know that.
Wouldn't know what?
Well, wouldn't know about Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, he wouldn't know about Thomas Jefferson.
Would a master servant romantic relationship be would that ever happen in this world?
I would say yes, but it would be extremely rare for it to be something quite like that. I would say romantic in terms of, I mean, you can't even call our relationship romantic from what you observe. It's more like we're family. Could
I tell that over the week?
In all honesty, it's about as realistic in this world as it is in quote unquote the real world.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
It happens.
Yeah. I would say, why don't you roll an insight check with advantage, since you spent a week with us.
21 and 24.
Yeah, I mean, Go ahead.
You have a pretty decent idea that the two of them really care about each other.
And I've never treated her like a slave in any way, shape, or form.
You don't necessarily have a problem with the fact that they are quote unquote together. You do have a problem with the fact that she's still considered a slave in the general idea. Even if she's being treated way better than a slave would be, in your mind, the term slave still lingers around her. Which is, it just doesn't sit well with you. But the way she's been treated, etc., there's nothing wrong with that.
So much so that a shrug right now wouldn't be, I would have to go past a shrug right now and actually say something?
Perhaps you would say something about the fact that she is still considered a slave.
I mean, I don't know, Wrath, was there ever any paperwork involved?
You. I'm not certain. You got a deed, probably.
I don't know. Is okay? So there would be. So I would have if paperwork is kind of like the default for slavery, then I would have gotten that. But I didn't know that at the time, so I didn't work that into the backstory.
And it's a little difficult.
Like, what's the standard for like ownership?
Yeah, because if
Probably
that is the case too,
paperwork.
then I
Probably
think
paperwork?
Paperwork, which he didn't have with him.
Oh, you want to go down that route?
Let's roll a d20.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Roll a d20 on it. Let fate decide.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Can I luck roll that?
You can luck roll it.
Okay, is that
Oh,
bad?
don't you have inspiration too?
I do have inspiration too. Is that bad, Wrath?
I'm
Because I
not
don't.
certain if I want to tell you or not.
Well, the whole thing is, if I rolled a die, I would know whether or not it was bad. Under normal circumstances.
It's bad.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Well, yeah. This is to determine.
Is that still bad? It's
No.
better than a 10. Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Can it be better?
Okay. So, but then what does that
it can
mean?
be better.
If I increase it by 5, would it be better?
You'll find out.
Okay, that was my inspiration. I'm gonna use my luck to add 5 to that roll.
Okay, so
I have
what's
no
your
more
inspiration. Can you
yeah.
re-roll a die for an inspiration?
Yeah, that's what inspiration is.
Uh-huh.
It's the exact same as luck, basically.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So 16.
You do have the appropriate writing to, which basically claims that it first describes how Rita looks like, and then describes that she is a slave, and then further describes that
This is her deed.
The tree which she ran through upon this point. So she first was owned by this person, was sold there to this person, was sold to there to this person, and on the final note, it literally says "won in a card game" by Drake.
Okay.
Plus your final name.
Which shall not be
Whatever
named.
that is.
Which shall not be named.
Won
Okay.
in a card game by mutual agreement.
Does he like show me this?
No.
I don't know.
I don't show anybody this.
Then, okay, then. So then, at this point, you told me that
I won her in a
You
card
won.
game. I never said that. I never said that she still is a slave. Nor did I
Right.
say she isn't.
She isn't.
I have purposefully left that kind of vague. But
Right.
I think the way that you're not certain. I don't know if it's in your character to necessarily go on an assumption. I think you might be kind of observing it. But what you've seen already, more or less, tells you that like it's not, at the very least, it's not a bad relationship.
you're a slave owner, Dolos is a thief.
Yeah.
And
But you don't know that for certain. I could have released her for all you know.
Tyraneus is a trespasser.
Tyraneus is a trespasser and goes berserk at any
What
point.
are you doing, guys?
Perfectly natural.
This is perfect for you. You just want to convert these people. At this point, you think you're a little iffy on me, but I'm the least iffy person in the group, apparently.
No,
Are
at
you?
this point, Gumby is like, I was sent to the perfect group. Melisandre sent me to change these people.
Which is
This my
hilarious.
goal now.
It's hilarious because my character's turning darker, so it's a good timing. He's turning into the Dragon Age Origins hardened.
In any case,
Right.
I'm going to play the hell out of that game by the time I get my new computer. Sidetrack.
Oh, Inquisition? You mean Inquisition? Origins is the first one.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to play the final one at least. Because I have it and I really want to play it in a nice way. Anyway,
It's good.
Tyraneus, you're still in a house filled with people and you're a rat.
Yeah, okay. Are we going? So, yeah, we'll go back to him. In the meantime, I kind of shrug a little bit.
It's like you guys just faded in and now we're like pulled back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Tyraneus.
Okay, well, I Is there nothing more that really I can hear that is worthwhile sticking around, or?
You don't seem to hear anything worthwhile for the next 10 minutes. And after that, you are wondering if staying here would be safe, really.
He's got 1 hour or 2 hours.
Yes, right now he has 2 hours.
Okay.
No, he has 3 hours.
No, he has 3 hours of. He only has like 45 minutes overall of his spell, but he has 3 hours total of animal transformation, and he could literally just spend it again while in animal form to extend that by another 3 hours.
Okay. Well.
Like you don't have to reconvert; it would just reset it.
Well, it's starting to get dark.
Well, what has anything additional happened?
From the outside, you don't see anything really happen for the up until now, apart from your little conversation.
Mm-hmm. How about for Ty?
Tyraneus? No, nothing really had happened.
Okay.